I'm Fallon Mercedes here at the West Valley Counseling Center with Dr. Sharon Burnett, who is a psychotherapist and the founder of this counseling center, and she's going to be answering some of the questions that we have about therapy. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Good.
All right, so with therapy, there's a lot of stigma around it. There's a lot of people out there who may need therapy and might feel ashamed, or even they don't know much about therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is, that they do not go and see a therapist?
Well, that's about 3 or 4 different questions and different levels of questions. So let me just kind of pick them apart. That first one is that, and I think we're getting past this, the stigma of therapy. So, therapy is only for really, mentally ill people. I think right now therapy is more and more mainstream, that it's okay to go therapist. It's not so much of a stigma as it used to be, not just for mentally ill people or people who can't handle it. It's seen as an accepted, in fact, even positive way to roll. And I think that's thanks to a lot of media and positive information about mental health, mental well-being. And the stigma, I think it started, 40, 50 years ago when we looked at mental illness. If you have a mental illness, go to a psychiatrist. Mental illness, go to a doctor and get fixed. You need some medication. There's something wrong with you. And that's the pretty outdated, although in some schools still acceptable, view of mental health is from an illness point of view. So the stigma comes from, there must be something wrong with you. You got a mental illness, go see a psychiatrist. Ew. Who would want to? Today it's more mental health. How do we maintain our mental health? Like our physical health. You're in physical training, health training. How do we maintain physical health? So looking at mental health as a health issue, not an illness issue, takes the stigma away. And our model right now, or the model I teach my students, is more of not, somebody comes in with some issues and symptoms. It's not a question of what's wrong with you. Let me diagnose you. But hey, what happened to you? What happened to you? What's going on? How can I help you?
How do you diagnose yourself, or how do you get to the point where you realize, okay, I may need some help. I may need to go seek out a counselor. What are, I guess, some symptoms? Because I feel like, life can throw you many different curveballs.
Yeah. And
how do you know when, okay, I'm struggling with this a little too much? Or where do you find that fine balance of having a hard time in life and saying, okay, I need help with this?
I think there's 2 good sources of that. One is, as it is for many people, hopefully a trusted friend or family member might say, hey, I think you need some help. You seem really, you're really struggling with this. I see something going on. Parents of a kid, or a spouse, or, a good friend. It's usually might be somebody else that goes, hey, you okay? You want some help? That's one way. And the other way requires a little bit more self-reflection, which is going, I'm not where I want to be in my life. I'm using, these habits too much, these, drink, food, exercise, I'm working too much, I'm not feeling good inside, that we can, not self-diagnose, but self-assess ourselves. And if we're feeling stuck someplace, probably a good time to talk to somebody. At least a good friend and family member going, I don't know what's going on, I need some help. And that's the first step. I need some help with this. So it's that recognize I'm not well. Not much different than when you recognize I have the flu. I have a fever, or achy, I'm tired, my bones hurt, I'm sneezing all over. We usually know something's off.